Hello there and welcome back, Cozy Club. Today we are going to be ranking every single character within Disney Sorcerer's Arena, and let me tell you, everything has changed. Our last tier list was in April, and I gotta thank you guys. We hit over 700 likes and 30,000 views, and since then we have had some major buffs, major nerfs, new characters, and new updates coming to brand new game modes. So yes, a lot is going to change. Today's tier list was built from the ground up, combining hundreds of hours of both playtesting and data collecting, working with the most brilliant minds within Disney Sorcerer's Arena to bring you guys a new, refreshed look on how we're going to rank each and every character. Tier list number 1 on today's video is going to be our primary tier list. This is the all-around master tier list that's going to account for PvP, raid viability, how are they in club conquest with modified towers and on offense, and then on defense we have a whole category for sorcerer's tournament and how are these characters when you're not controlling them. Now, you're going to see some great characters, maybe not ranked all the way up, because they need to excel in each and every one of these categories, with PvP and raid ranking the highest. Now, tier list number 2 is going to be our PvP only tier list. We're not going to be covering that tier list in today's video. However, I will have a master graphic ranking each and every character and their viability within live PvP in the upcoming game modes. And for the last bit of business, if you find yourself a little bit more of a visual learner, we have today's both graphics and Excel sheet with all of the number values assigned to each and every character. If you want to know why each one is ranked where they're at, I provided a link to both down in the description below. And if you enjoy these tier lists, please consider taking just a second to support the Cozy Club by clicking the red subscribe button down below. It helps massively support the channel and really helps me grow as a content creator. Alrighty, let's begin. So when we rank these characters, please know these are going to be ranked at max performance. That means tier and gear level 8.5 maxed out with their new stats. Now, we're not going to be looking at the new abilities, and if you're free to play or your characters are significantly lower, just know this is how they're going to kind of evolve into a character. So we look at them at the highest level of performance, so you know exactly who's safe to invest in even early on to have great characters later in the game. Let's go ahead and start at the bottom, and that is going to be the F tier. These 3 amigos are going to be the game's overall worst characters, and outside of Lumiere, really for just unlocking Beast, you're not going to want to invest any resources or time into these characters, and we're just going to go ahead and move right along to the D tier. These characters are going to be amongst the worst, and they have little to no use within DSA. Now, they either have poor synergy, they offer nothing within the raid, they have outdated beta kits, or they just don't provide any extra, ability or usefulness outside of some other characters that you could plug into their spots. Let's take Shank, for example. She's got great stats, some unique abilities, but her cooldowns are so long and she doesn't offer enough damage. So people like her and Hermes and Cogsworth, there's kind of always one within legendaries, are not going to be worth your time outside of just investing into the overall legendary characters. Again, not worth our time in this video or your time within DSA. Now, the C tier is when you start to see a little bit of viability from game mode to game mode, but generally speaking, they're not going to be worth your gold or your gear or any of those resources. But from time to time, these characters can offer unique abilities, some nice healings or buffs to aid you into a couple of the game modes. Now, as we continue to make our way through this tier list, you're going to start to notice a little bit of a bell curve within each tier. As we make our way to the middle, that's going to be the most characters, and we removed a ton of characters from S and A+ and spread them amongst the tiers to more accurately display their overall viability within each and every game mode. Now, this is a lot different than any list we've done before, and you're gonna notice a big change, which perfectly brings us to the B tier. We now have got some very solid characters in here who can fit into PvP teams, usually offer some nice support within the raids, or aid your team in a variety of battles. Now, There are far better options out there than these characters. However, these are definitely solid and are worth some time and some investment. Most notably, let's go ahead and talk about a few of them. You've got Pete and Hook, who are going to be powerful villains, but their outdated health really is not going to keep them alive in battle. They're just missing a couple of stats to bring them up to par. While Yzma got a great buff, skyrocketing her from the F tier with a large turn meter control within the Forbidden Depths, and she slots in pretty nicely with the villains of DSA. We are now at the peak of the bell curve. We're at the B+ tier, and you'll notice there's some absolutely fire characters within this tier. However, this usually means why they are in this B tier ranking is they're most likely missing something from one of the game modes that's keeping them down. They may be absolutely fire amazing within PvP or the raids, but then they can't do the other half of that. So that's why they're gonna be ranking in the B+. You'll notice we've got amazing characters like Quasimodo, Judy Hopps, and Dr. F. These guys are great in PvP, but they're gonna suffer in the raids. They can't offer a lot outside maybe some minimal roles. However, looking at Horn King and Spin, they'll absolutely dominate the depths, but they cannot find any footing within PvP, and they're not really gonna do well in those game modes. Most of these characters you can use with success, but you want to avoid like using yokai within the raid, as you're only going to go ahead and feed the raid boss turn meter over and over until your team dies. However, Club Conquest, he's your guy. In the B+ tier, my personal favorites are Jafar, Maurice, Judy Hopps, or Quasimodo. Quasi's a great take. Judy Hopps is becoming a really solid leader for Wreck-It Ralph and can have a lot of uses within the game. Jafar is absolutely fire within PvP. And then lastly, you've got the catch-all Maurice, who just seems to be getting better and better.
Please stand clear of the doors.
We are arriving at the A tier. From here on, you are looking at the elite characters within Disney Sorcerer's Arena. They serve well above average viability in multitude of game modes and are absolutely worth your time and resources investing into. Now, there is not a character here that you should regret or hesitate, and see which ones perfectly fit your roster. Many of these characters are going to skyrocket once they get new abilities into Gear 9, and they only need a couple characters or a new leadership to bring them to the next level. King Triton, Sergeant Calhoun, Fix-It Felix, and Eve are absolute raid MVPs that can net you high scores within any phase within the raid. They are tremendous units, while Shan Yu, Shere Khan, Frollo, Vanellope, Davy, and Namari can absolutely crush any enemy within PvP with some devastating abilities and high damage. Now, a quick disclaimer, Vanellope and Fix-It Felix, along with the other Wreck-It Ralph characters, are still very new, and so these are way too early rankings, but after a good amount of playtesting, we were able to somewhat put them where they belong, but you can expect them to either rise or fall within the next tier list. You'll also start to notice a ton of unique characters offering simply abilities that are game-changing that other characters cannot offer. Madam Mim can spread harmful effects like a mad woman, Gothel with some great character manipulation, Pain and Panic have the best stasis and can shut down any character, while Corella can manipulate the battlefield heavily with buffs, debuffs, and some insane AoE healing. Anyone within the A+, or S tier have very minor flaws. There's only a point or two that separates them, and the line is razor thin. So don't get too caught up where they're ranked from A+, and S. All very solid characters, but A+ and S was reserved for the best of the best, all class within any game mode. The A+ tier is the absolute upper class of DSA. These elite 15 characters can completely change the way you play Disney Sorcerer's Arena, executing their roles flawlessly within the game no matter what the game mode. We have insane characters that have missed out on the S tier by just a mere point here, ladies and gentlemen. Dash, Zerg, and Go-Go's damage numbers are amongst the best in the game. You'll find them even higher in the PvP tier list, while Mickey Mouse is a defense god. The mouse is incredible in so many game modes, and the only reason he's not in S is the lack of overall usage within the raid. Pocahontas is rising every list, it seems, with insane abilities, continual updated stats, her nice ability upgrades, and a very powerful leadership, especially after the Hero Hamada nerf. She's got strong healing, which is going to be very clutch within the raid, and can offer overall great synergy for all hero characters within the game. That's a big pool of characters to fit under a big list of synergies. I know what you're thinking. Ursula, out of the S tier, is by far the most notable, just kind of shocking change on this tier list. Now, I'll let you guys know, her kit is mainly, and not mainly, primarily made for PvP, and I think you guys will be happy where she ranks on that list. Her raid overall viability is not the best of the best or elite in the class. Ladies and gentlemen, can I present to you the all-stars of Disney Sorcerer's Arena? These characters are absolutely near flawless in every game mode and are the top of the top. Hero Hamada is probably the biggest topic of this list, receiving a massive nerf and just barely managed to stay in the top of class in the S tier. He's still an incredible leader. He's a good support in the raids and overall a very strong core character within the game. He does shine a little less in PvP, but is the jack of all trades. Moving on up to the Lord of the Underworld, Hades, being the damage king of any game mode, and although he does take a heavy investment, he can carry you throughout the game and is a very wise choice for the future of the game. Now, my girl Moana is the newest member of the S tier list. She can be a monster in PvP with the best chance to not only kill, but embarrass legendaries with the best punch-up potential amongst other teams in Club Conquest. Her raid damage is phenomenal, her Club Conquest bonuses are out the window, and we welcome her into the S tier as one of the best characters within the game. Miguel. This is the truest example of top of class. You don't even need him at a high star level to do his job in any game mode. He fits perfectly into the meta, being the lead of the best teams in the game. He has amazing healing, cleansing, he revives, he gives speed boosts. Do I need to say more? The margin is razor thin, and he could very well be one of the best characters or the best within the game. Looking at Beast, he is an absolutely uncontrollable hybrid tank that lives to his name by being amazing with damage in the raids, especially once this guy gets empowered. He's going to be a perfect plug and play, fits into so many different teams and roles, and is well belonging on this list. My boy! Baymax still exists as the one true auto taunter in this game, and as long as he has that, he's gonna stay right up here. He provides great heals, powerful buffs, and he just doesn't seem to be going away with his healing and cleansing amongst all game modes. Now, the newest legendary Ralph was tough to place, keep in mind first impressions, but Ralph is looking to be a dominant force no matter where you plug him in. He's got amazing damage with his game over, and the rest of the kit is built around supporting the team. He's going to carry you in PvP. You can get off multitudes of game overs within the raids for some powerful damage. Ralph is early on looking like a top 3 character within this game. And yes, reigning in his top spot, he has not moved an inch. Hercules is still going to be the best overall character in the game, hands down. This god, yes, can be countered by Ralph now, but he's going to be a constant annoyance within PvP. The raid, he's going to do great numbers. Club Conquest, no matter the team. And we've got an upcoming raid that's going to support him even more. I only seen Hercules getting better, so he'll be on this spot, and get used to him of the top as the best overall character within DSA. And that, ladies and gentlemen, conclude our rankings of the overall master tier list within the game. But as promised, I've got something special to show you guys. For the first time ever, we've got a master PvP only tier list where you're going to see a bunch of shifts in the rankings, and you're going to see who the best of the best described as the absolute elite when it comes to player versus player combat. with the new game mode, I wanted to provide this, and let me know down in the comments below if you want a whole nother separate video month to month breaking down this new PvP exclusive tier list. Again, you'll see some major differences in the ratings and the movement throughout the tiers. If PvP is your favorite aspect of the game, then these are the characters you're gonna want to get. This graphic will be in the Discord, and if you guys have questions, again, come stop by my stream to ask why a character is placed exactly where they are. If you found this entire video, tier list, and all of this super informative and helpful, help me out big time by leaving a like on the video. Comment down below your favorite character currently within the game. I'm gonna be doing a giveaway and I'll pick my favorite character. That's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for stopping by this big tier list. We're gonna have a lot more updates here to come. And until next time, stay cozy.